Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Let me know how the audio sounds first and foremost. Let's get that out of the way. Good morning. Today is episode 839. This is March 20th, 2025. And this is your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, alongside a cup of coffee. Me, you, casually, Joseph. Dude, it's all good. Hold on one second. Let me just say it's all good. Guys, me, you, Marlon Johnson, Nerdpocalypse, Medine G, Mary Ellen Kennel, Code Brew, Augusta Delgado, my man Gary Sturgiadis. Mic volume is super low. All right, I figured we were going to have some issues. Let's go sort it out now, shall we? All right, hold on one second. Audio. Default bridge. Here we go. Let's give the old mic a goose, shall we? Mic volume. Microphone check 1, 2. What is this? Let's see. Get rid of noise suppression. Get rid of EQ. How's that? How's that sound? Maybe a little flatter, but more volume to it. Yeah. Let's see. Check, 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 check. The real challenging thing is that there is a unfortunately there's a 15-second delay between me and you. And unless I have somebody in the green room with me, I can't get real-time feedback on all of this. No sound for the word. Oh, my God. You know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. Give me a second, okay? Stay tuned. I'm beside myself here. Hello? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Now tell me how it sounds, because what I've just done is absolutely tear out my new mixer. All right. How's that? Tore out the mixer. I've got the old one in for all of its problems. And now we're going to get back into it. Good morning, everybody. How's it sound? Let me know. Microphone check 1, 2. What is it? We've got our... You sound fine. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, March 20th. It is Thursday, so guess what? It's What's Your Meme Thursday. We got that cooking. And we are going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. You can bet your bottom dollar that we're going to be joined by one Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, later today in order to drop that meme of the week. I can't wait. That's always a good time. There we go. This is Dan. Music's loud. Let me know if the music's still loud. Try to level up 1% a day, and sometimes you have to go backwards 1%. What? Okay. Guys, I gotta travel today. I'm sorry. Everything's a hot mess express. Everybody's like super busy right now, so it's really difficult. background sound too. Here, you know what? I'm just going to turn the music off. I'm going to turn the music off. We'll get it sorted out. How's that? All right, no music. Guys, we're going to shred the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'm sorry that I've wasted your time so much at this point, but let me tell you, over the next 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to go through the top news stories of the day in the cyber industry. It is my goal to deliver you, even if the audio is janky, a high quality, educational, and entertaining experience here, leveling you up for your day, your career, your game, whatever it is, in order to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing here. We are here to level ourselves up as well as level our business stakeholders' security posture up. Now, I want you to know I don't research or prep for any of these stories, right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I can barely hear that sound effect, so I'm sure that that's a hot mess too. Oh, well, thank you, Chuck Sapp. Chuck Sapp is always making me feel good about myself. I love it. Thank you so much, Cam Godot. Guys, if you are looking to break into the industry, don't worry. You're also going to get value from the stream, I promise you, because you're going to be asked in any job interview, and anyone who's recently got a job can attest to this. Casually Joseph just got a job with Palo Alto Unit 42. We've seen some others. Wading Through Logs just got a job not too long ago. Ask anyone, and you will see that you'll be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? Right here, this is a great answer. Not only is it fun, not only is it community-based, but also I think it's actually, you know, hitting all the notes that would make the answer to that question completely appropriate and potentially blow things up. Centennial Gray, I don't think it's a waste of time. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I was definitely sorry. I wasn't trying to dunk on myself and cause a pity party. I do apologize for that. Let's keep moving and get you guys the value that you absolutely deserve. I got my cup of coffee here. Just as a production note, I will be going to Citadel to teach right after the show ends. DJ Bisek typically does jawjacking on Thursdays, but he's been absent lately because work has been quite intense for him. So we may not have a jawjacking segment. That's TBD. And then tomorrow I will be Team Sippy Cup because I'm flying out at 1 o'clock today to go to glorious Madison, South Dakota to present at DSU's DakotaCon tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. Won't stop me from doing the daily cyber threat brief on the road, though, as it will be 6 a.m. local time there, not impacting anything. Now, before we get into it, let me say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who hopefully aren't watching today's episode and being like, wait a minute, we're paying for we're paying for this? This dude doing audio interface exchanges live on air? Let's say shout out and love to the stream sponsors. Hopefully you guys got a good value from the Red Team Summit yesterday with Antisyphon. They're one of the stream sponsors. Definitely love them. Let's run through them, and when we come back, I'm going to have my audio even more dialed in, and I'm going to tell you how this show can solve all your CPE problems. Holler! Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right, thank you to the stream sponsors. Now, in full disclosure, I did tinker with all the audio, the routing, the music, the sliders, everything. So this is my final configuration, so let me know. You should hear the sound effects just fine. And you should hear the music slightly underneath me where I can bump it up if I need to. We got to get this dialed in because when we do Simple Minds, Alpha Sierra is going to hold me accountable if we can't hear it, right? Guys, really quickly, I do want to say shout out and love to Barricade Cyber Solutions as well. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Thank you very much. Definitely got a great show for you. 8:12. We're just a couple minutes behind. Really quick, I do want to. I noticed Forsaken 1Z28 in chat saying feeling like cyber is a scam. More and more attacks, more and more courses and certs. Must have a presence on the internet. Video stream shorts content just to get a job. And then 20,000 inverted or in. I don't know what INVTD is, if that's Gen Z slang or what. But I will say, yeah, I could see where you're disenfranchised, Forsaken, because of that. I assure you it's not a scam. There's a lot of threat actors out there. The cyber industry is a lot of fun to work in. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to work in. And there's a lot of people who want to do it, which is why, I guess the presence on the internet is one thing that can help you stand out. You don't have to, though. I mean, you could just be grinding, doing IT, maybe MSP, and then go up within your organization, if it's a large enough organization with an information security office, and have a very successful career doing it that way. And the courses and search, yeah, you got to put the work in, right? I'd actually argue that it's more accessible in 2025. In fact, I did a keynote talk at Wild West Hackin' Fest last year about this exact topic because when I came up, not to say like, oh, when I was a kid, but like the access to resources is unbelievable now. Like you can go learn how to be a GRC analyst now. You can go learn how to be a SOC analyst or a detection engineer or threat hunter or whatever you want, OSINT. Back in the day, like those resources were basically only available through SANS, and it was like 10 grand, or you had to be in the military. So, okay. Let's go. Everybody sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. Keep me going on the audio. I do appreciate the mod team and chat for helping me out here. Takes a village, y'all.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, March 20th, 2025. I'm Sean Kelly. Attackers swiped data from Pennsylvania Teachers Union. The Pennsylvania State Education Association reported to the Office of the Maine Attorney General that they suffered a breach impacting over 500,000 people. The nonprofit said the attack occurred on July 6th and exposed sensitive financial and health information. Although the PSEA's disclosure didn't explicitly mention ransomware or extortion, it did say steps were taken to ensure the stolen data was deleted. The Riceta ransomware gang publicly claimed responsibility for the attack back in September.
Okay. I think we already covered this one a couple weeks ago, honestly, but Riceta ransomware gang, they are, I don't want to say prolific, but they're certainly well known. They've been around the block a few times. And yeah, I mean, they take on wholesale businesses. Again, they don't really care who they hit. Education, K through 12, right? Municipality, teachers union. It's all gravy, man. At the end of the day.
Straight cash, homie.
That's all they care about. Get in. Here's the thing, guys. A Windows server or a Windows active, domain at a teachers union is the same as at a manufacturing company, is the same at a healthcare business. It's all, like they have different, nuances and stuff, but 80%, you're going to learn this Pareto principle 80% of the time, whether it's controls in a control framework or it's the way an organization rolls out tech. 80% of it's going to be the same, which is why when you learn, you can start moving around organizations and stuff because it's a lot of, the same. I do want to say shout out to the Maine Attorney General. I want to buy this person, man or woman, a beer. Maybe, oh my God, what is it? Is it Maine Brewing Company that does lunch? Anyways, whatever. There's this, because of the Maine Attorney General's office, we're constantly made aware of tons and tons of data breaches. So shout out to them, always bringing the heat. Let's see how this happened. So they did an investigation. They saw some information got taken out. They took steps to the best of their ability to ensure that the data was deleted. Okay. So they took steps to the best of their ability and knowledge to ensure that the data taken by the unauthorized actor was deleted. To me, this reads, we paid the ransom and asked for proof of deletion. That's what this reads to me. You're not going to convince a Riceta ransomware threat actor to delete your data just out of like being a kind soul. But this is one of those ones, dude, like, yes, not mutual funds, but like pension funds, they have money in them, but then they have administrative costs and stuff like that. And the administrator is a business that administers that fund. I don't know, when you pay the ransom, I don't know where that money comes from. It's not like they dip into the pension fund to pay for it. So, obviously the real victims here are the pension fund holders, the Pennsylvania teacher funds. The register asked if they paid a ransom, but they didn't respond. Dude, literally, listen, when you say we took steps to ensure the data that was taken was deleted, there's only one way that's happening. Well, there's two ways. One, you pay the ransom, okay? Or two, you go and find them like Liam Neeson style and slap them around and threaten them until they delete the data. And I assure you, the Pennsylvania Teachers Union administrators are not going to a covert black ops site, doing clandestine missions, getting it done this way. They just stroked a check. All right. Again, that's really a decision and a conversation that you have to have outside the CISO office. All right. So I guess the TLDR here is, if you haven't thought about it before, it's worth pointing out. This is one of those ones where they decided to pay the ransom. How do you, who gets to make that choice? I assure you it's not, and I say this with all due respect, it's not you. It's not me. Right? It's not Eric Taylor. It's the executive team. It's the lawyers. It may be the insurance company, right? Oh, it's definitely not me. I am not. I can advise. I think we should pay it, but they're going to be like, I'm sorry, didn't you weren't you going to get us coffee? Weren't you going to get us coffee? Where's our coffee? And I'm like, oh. So put this into your tabletop exercises. Guys, tabletop exercises, don't model them. Hey, Matthew Netchi, coffee cup, cheers, 33 months. Don't position tabletop exercises as an IT exercise. Position it as a business, simulation, right? Get all the business words in there, right? Make sure that you're getting au bonbon pastries and not Krispy Kreme donuts, right? For the executives, so they feel like they got, whatever, clout. And then say, hey, listen, all the data from our, customer base, whatever, the pension fund, our supply chain for our manufacturers, whatever, K through 12, all the students, it doesn't matter. Like, make it hurt, right? Like, make the scenario hurt. And then say, threat actors are asking for, and what I would say is take 3% of your annual revenue as the number. So whatever your annual revenue is for your business, you're a $100 million business, $3 million, all right? Threat actors are asking for $3 million. You have 1 week to comply. And what do? And while they're talking about it, give them 15 minutes to talk about it or whatever, and then inject or interrupt them and say, oh, hey, listen, I'm just seeing this right now on Twitter. They've released 10 records on Pastebin, and we have verified that it is, in fact, real data, and that data is out there. So now we have a data breach for sure, because 10 of our customers, clients, employees, whatever, data's out there. So now we've got to start working on that. And secondly, they definitely have the data, and now it's, 6 days and whatever, 20 hours. So make it a business simulation. You'll get much more buy-in. Dude, Aubon Pan is great. Hey, I've told the story on Tidbits Tuesday before, and if you're new here, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. I apologize for the audio issues and some of the inside jokes that you may not know. So just, if you didn't know, I did do a client engagement for Aubon Pan back in like 2005, and I put on like 30 pounds because I was double-fisted bear crawlers every single day because the freaking bakery was right on below the main office. Bad choices. I was making real bad choices.
Infosys settles $17.5 million lawsuit after third-party breach. Infosys Limited has agreed to settle 6 class action lawsuits filed against its subsidiary Infosys McCamish System, or IMS, related to its data breach in late October of 2023. IMS provides technology platforms for life insurance and annuity services to financial institutions. Attackers were able to gain personal data of 6.5 million downstream customers, including those of Fidelity Investments Life Insurance Company, Bank of America, and American Express. The stolen data includes names, social security numbers, bank account and routing numbers, and dates of birth. Infosys said the terms of the settlement are subject to confirmation by the plaintiffs and final court approval.
All right, hey, we got some first-timers in chat, so Team SC, drop, you know what to do. Occupied Toast, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And Thor Worthen, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, we've got confirmation. Eric Taylor will be doing jawjacking today. So we are hot and out and running. Guys, you first-timers, thank you very much. Definitely happy to have you, and I appreciate you sticking with us despite some of the audio issues. And Jeffrey Feeney, another first-timer. Look at us just getting first-timer actions. And if you came from the David Bombal video, David's great people, and thanks for checking out the channel. This is, despite the audio turbulence, this is pretty accurate for what's going on here. All right, so lawsuit settlement after third-party breach to the tune of $17.5 million. You can get a lot of fried clam plates for that. And you might be like, what are you talking about, fried clam plates? I'm from New England. I can't get fried clams down here in the low country, and I miss it. And for some odd reason, even though it's 8:30 in the morning, I'm like jonesing for some fried clams. Several major companies in the finance sector impacted by this third-party breach. Dude, third-party breaches happen all the time. Like, go Google Snowflake, Move It, SolarWinds. Anybody? Like, SolarWinds has entered the chat. I've never heard of Infosys Limited. but they're going to settle for $17.5 million across 6 action lawsuits. I'm sure that they say in the lawsuit agreement that they're not going to admit any wrongdoing. But this is a 2023 breach. Let's see what they did wrong. Yeah, so here's the deal. I don't know much about this, but here's what I would actually say, right? If you were gonna get money from this lawsuit, you definitely already know about it. Here's the TLDR. This is what's important, okay? I'm not entirely certain that this is precedent setting, but it certainly does bolster the precedence of trying to sue or be like get made whole for third-party data breach. Tom, Lost in Space, first timer. What's up, bruh?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Get your reps in, keep in the know. That's right. And Tom, Lost in Space. Don't be shy, guys. Hey, if you're a first timer here, Nightbot's gonna drop a link to the Discord server. Don't be shy. Our Discord server is popping. A lot of great people and support going on in the Discord server. There's Nightbot dropping it. All right, so here's the deal. If you are a third party, like think about SolarWinds as a third party. Think about, the car dealerships last year. There are a bunch of car dealerships. Hold on. Third party cyber attack car dealerships. This is a perfect example. It's misspelled everything. CDK. Okay? CDK Global. All right? As an example. Another one. Power School breach. Here we go. Power School. Power School provides software for 85% of all K through 12 schools in the United States. Think about how big a footprint that is. They provide the software solution. Like, there's an 85% chance that if you're in chat right now and you have kids in school in the United States, that you check their grades through Power School. You may not realize it's Power School, but that's what you're using, all right? These massive, massive entities are providing service to businesses, and those businesses are providing service to you. So when they get cracked and your data gets lost, and it says, oh, General Motors suffers, lost your data, or Toshiba lost your data, or Mercedes-Benz lost your data, but it's really some third party you've never heard of, like Snowflake or Infosys or Jericho Pictures, right? To me, this is impressive because now we're seeing there's legal action of businesses going after those third parties, supply chain breaches to be made whole. Now, I do want to point out, this is business on business action, right? So, General Motors Rick Hendrick Chevrolet gets punched in the mouth because CDK Global gets screwed. Rick Hendrick goes after CDK Global, uses this as precedent, and gets paid out, right?
Straight cash, homie.
That doesn't mean that our data that got compromised is in any way in scope of being made whole. So the Power School data breach, like my kid's data, gone. Charleston County School District could sue Power School, right, for whatever, impact, reputational harm, whatever, and be made whole. But my kids' data, my kids aren't going to get a slice of that check. You know what I'm saying? So this is interesting. Well, for me personally, the way that I read this story is, wait a minute. If I'm a third party, if I'm doing business to business services, right? So if your business that you work at supporting in a cyber capacity, or you're looking to go work at a business in a cyber capacity, is you got to add this to your risk profile, right? When you bring, this is less of a cyber thing and more of a CFO thing, but say, hey, listen, guys, I need budget for Veeam backups, or I need budget for immutable storage, or we need to roll out multi-factor authentication. And they're like, okay, nerd, but like that takes time and money and resources, and we don't like listening to nerds, so why don't you piss off? And it's like, yeah, we could do that, but if our data gets cracked and our business-to-business client base wants to come after us, there's precedent here of a $17 million 6 class action lawsuit. So double middle finger, CFO. I'm just here to advise you, but I'm advising you that precedence has been set in a legal stat that we're probably going to get sued. So I know MFA costs $10,000. Oh, let's save that 10 grand so you can get a au bon pan catered lunch next month. But, so anyways, use this information to update your threat model. I see some people ranting in here. Steve Young used to work for Rick Hendrick back in the 90s. Oh, yeah. So, Priceless Pancake, this is a company suing a company. That's the way I'm seeing it. Like Fidelity Investments was one of the, Fidelity Investments, life insurance, sent out notification letters at 30,000. Bank of America reported 57,000. Hold on 1 second. All right, class action lawsuit was consolidated. I'm trying to see here. Hey, you know what? I'm actually standing incorrect. So 2 things. 1, I was mistaken just now. So it was not business to business. It was me and you and my kids who went after the third party as like almost a pass through from the direct business we were using up into the vendor who was actually compromised. But the nuance of my lesson learned here still remains. You can use this in your budget requests and when you're talking to the board as far as like, yo, listen, our threat model is increased. Like we don't have this veil of protection because we're not dealing directly with the customers. We're dealing with businesses. This can pass through to us. So lesson learned.
Top U.S. sperm bank discloses data breach. California Cryobank, or CCB, has disclosed that an unauthorized party accessed its data files between April 20th and 22nd of last year. Upon discovery, CCB said it promptly isolated affected systems, but said threat actors potentially accessed and/or acquired some of its customers' information, including names, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, financial account numbers, and health insurance information. The company did not disclose the total number of affected individuals or technical details related to how threat actors breached its systems. CCB is offering victims 12 months of identity protection services and fraud assistance.
Okay, so a couple things. I feel like this is the story Eric Taylor has been waiting for his entire life to show up on this particular show. Now, if any news outlet was going to cover this one, the Register, I'm so happy it was them because they're always being cheeky, okay? So, California, huge state, top sperm bank attacked, right? So definitely getting out of hand. They found themselves in a sticky situation. Oh my God. So let's see what we got here. I'm seeing if it was a ransomware attack or not, or if because a sperm bank is definitely kind of a nuanced victim organization, right? I could see Young's like for the lulls, right? Back in the late 90s, people would attack anything for the lulls, right? And like a sperm bank definitely is right up in that a sperm bank. Listen, this particular victim organization definitely rises to the occasion of a threat actor who wants to do something more for the lulls. Again, I'm going to try to stick in as many puns as I can into this particular story. Let's see. I don't see ransomware. There we go. The Biz didn't immediately respond about the break-in. They don't know if they deployed ransomware and demanded an extortion payment. So, yeah, honestly, if anything, this is the story's in the news because of what it is, not because of any particular, interesting threat act or anything like that. I guess all I would say is the TLDR Yes, Ross. Ross got it. Thank you, Ross. Robert Rittenhouse knows. Okay, so check it out. All I will say on this one. What I will say on this one is two things. One, if you are dealing at a business where they don't think that they are likely to be a target because they're not a financial company or they're not big in the news or they're not, like you're a small publishing company out of Mount Pleasant. I use that one all the time because Black Boss just slapped around one here in the Low Country a couple years ago. But listen, use this as a story, right? Everybody knows what a sperm bank is, right? Like it'd be funny to say it in a corporate setting, right? But like, so it'll have stickiness, literally, it's the right word to use here, with your constituents that you're sharing information with. And because of that, you can say, hey, listen, if you don't think that we're a target, I bet, did you think that this company thought that they were a target? I mean, don't say it with such a arrogant tone, but my point is you can use this to help demonstrate to other, in other business settings that this is definitely a thing. Yeah, Augusta Delgado, 100%. The California cryobank is definitely going to want to roll out the California cryobank is definitely going to want to roll out server hardening on this particular one to really make sure that they're not penetrated by a threat actor again. We definitely don't want this. So good to them. Obviously, there's an opportunity here for some work. I can imagine that they're going to put out some recs for some good people to help them.
IBM warns of critical vulnerabilities in AIX. IBM's Advanced Interactive Executive, or AIX operating system, rarely makes the cyber news these days, but IBM is now urging its customers to apply patches after disclosing 2 critical vulnerabilities, one of which carries a maximum severity score of 10. Both flaws are caused by improper process controls and allow remote attackers to execute arbitrary commands. Third-party sources suggest around 9,000 organizations still use the OS, which is generally deployed in critical applications powering high-valued industries. IBM said AIX versions 7.2 and 7.3 are both vulnerable and should be updated immediately.
All right, we are running behind schedule because, I had audio issues and because we spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time on that sperm bank story. So here's the deal. Couple things. Number one, in the world of CVSS scores or vulnerability scoring, you can get a 0 to 10. 10 is the worst. 10 is typically reserved for remote code execution, unauthenticated access required, and actively being exploited in the wild. It's the worst, okay? Now, AIX is a advanced interactive executive operating system. I've heard of it. I've never used it. It's definitely, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is one of more of those like kind of Linux-based mainframe type like ones, not really designed for Carl in accounting to whip up. This didn't replace the Palm OS, if you will. But typically these ones are super, business critical process designed. They're cranking numbers in a basement somewhere in New York City, or it's, helping the space shuttle land on the moon. They're very, very tailored in their use cases, but they're legacy. So you got to be mindful of them. IBM says that they're strongly recommending people patch, right? You got to patch it. Which means that they're actively being supported by IBM, which is nice. Third-party sources suggest there's about 9,000 organizations using the operating system in the world. Again, think about, dude, there's like 8 million people in New York City, right? 9,000 orgs total using this one. It's a very small footprint internationally. But if your business is using this, chances are you've got probably, another thing I'm going to go out on a limb on here. You've got like one person who understands how that operating system works or how to even patch it, right? or that person's left and the AIX is just sitting there and everybody just kind of walks around it because they don't know how to use it and they don't want to be the guy who breaks it or the lady who breaks it. Yeah, Kyle saying AIX was released in 1986. Again, guys, here's another one of like those lessons learned. IBM could release this patch today, download it. It's very, very simple, right? Just apply the patch, no big deal. When you deal with legacy or fringe technology, okay, this gets into one of those ones. Do you even have the talent or the skill set on your staff in order to even manage this technology? A lot of businesses don't think about that, right? They set it up in 1986, right? Kyle. They set it up. They got, 5 people. IBM comes in or some, consultant, and they help deploy it. And it's up and running, and it's making money. Everybody's winning, right?
Straight cash, homie.
And then, hey, we don't need to keep you on staff anymore because this thing just runs itself. Piss off. And you're like, all right, see you later. And then things like this happen, and they're like, hey, Windows Server guy, hey, Todd, go fix that OS AIX. And Todd's like, what? I don't know anything about that. I'm like, he's out there Googling, trying to figure out how to do it, potentially breaks it. So when you are thinking about best of breed or heterogeneous IT ecosystem, you got to be mindful. This is a risk that you take on when you do these things. Guys, I've worked in environments where there's been systems that were custom built. That's another freaking nightmare. Oh, like, hey, we don't need to pay someone to do it. John in accounting moonlights as a developer, and he wrote an Access database with a stupid front page front end that we can do for free. We can use it. And then John dies. Like, this literally happened. John dies. No one knows how the damn thing works. It's got his credentials using, like, logged in and running. So you got to set John's account to never expire because they don't, it's just, ugh. All right. So anyways, TLDR, watch out for this type of stuff. Also, if you're running OS AIX, get in front of this ASAP. I guess don't get in front of it ASAP. You have an 8/100th% of a chance, 8/100ths of a percent of a chance of this getting exploited. Again, even with a remote code execution, unauthenticated, the OS AIXs, they're not internet facing typically. They're not going to be, you're not putting a web app on an OS AIX. Okay. All right, let's go.
And now we'd like to thank today's episode sponsor, Delete Me. Data brokers bypass online safety measures to sell your name, address, and social security number to scammers. Delete Me scours the web to find and remove your private information before it gets into the wrong hands by scanning for exposed information and completing opt-outs and removals. With over 100 million personal listings removed, Delete Me is your trusted privacy solution for online safety. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and use promo code CISO at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and enter code CISO. And one additional note, the CISO series just launched a new podcast called Security You Should Know. We've got more details at the end of the episode.
All right. Thank you all. Hey, really quick, I appreciate Evolver, like 311 or Evolver 11, talking in here about, basically an analyst wrote a bunch of bespoke reports for customers and now you can't really support them. Evolver 311, let me know if you like 311. Your 311's in your name right there, so I don't know if you're a big 311 fan. Huge fan of grassroots music, Offbeat Barrett. All right, hey, thanks to the stream sponsors. Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, Threat Locker. Definitely appreciate you guys for keeping the show running. I also want to say thank you to all of you. We have 450 people here today, lots of first-timers, lots of people sticking with it, even though the show kind of hit a speed bump at the very beginning, and we got through that. Oh, very cool, Evolver. All right, let's go. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And guys, Thursday is What's Your Meme Thursday. This guy right here pointing at the camera, that is Dan Reardon. He goes by the Haircut Fish. He's typically in chat. All right? Yeah, Evolver 311, we could definitely high five. and talk about it. Really quick, this is for Evolver 11 alone. Like sound system was like the end of it for me. Everything after sound system I think is terrible. All right. But transistor, phenomenal. Music, phenomenal. Grassroots, phenomenal. All right, guys. Allow me to introduce you to our custom meme. Now, if you were here on Monday, we met with Matt Kiley from Huntress, and we talked about Azure security research. Dan took that as inspiration. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your meme of the week. That is me on the left, Matt Kiley on the right, and we're nerdy by nature, not because we hate you, right? And if you don't know, Naughty by Nature was a 90s hip-hop group, famously sang OPP, other people's property. So he did Nerdy by Nature. This is a phenomenal piece of work. The font is right, a lot of touches, very nice. Thank you very much, Dan Reardon. All right, so we're running behind on time. Let me fast track to the la 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 la's. Alpha Sierra is going to bring it to us. Get ready to la 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 la, y'all. Let's go. We got 13 minutes to speed run this.
End of the episode. PHP flaw continues to make cyber news by being exploited. Threat actors are exploiting a security flaw in PHP to deliver cryptocurrency miners and remote access Trojans like Quasar Rat. The flaw is an argument injection vulnerability in PHP affecting Windows-based systems running in CGI mode that could allow remote attackers to run arbitrary code. According to Bitdefender, exploitation attempts against the vuln have surged since late last year, with a significant concentration reported in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Brazil, Japan, and India. In fact, we've reported several times on campaigns exploiting this very vulnerability here on Cybersecurity Headlines since last June. Users are advised to update their PHP installations to the latest version to safeguard against potential threats.
All right. I gotta tell you personally, when I find and I'd be curious how other people feel. Like when I find mining software on victim machines, like that's running in the browser or something like that, like you don't even like create a ticket. You just like get rid of it and keep on moving. Like I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't really raise as like a major threat. Okay, so Quasar Rat remote access tool, you definitely want to be mindful of that. If you're running PHP, if you're running PHP as kind of a web service or a web application platform or whatever, however you want to say it, just make sure it's updated. It's like anything else, guys. You have to keep your stuff updated, right? But hold on, misfire. You gotta patch it. Okay, so if you're running in CGI mode, I mean, I don't know what CGI mode is. I mean, CGI is Common Gateway Interface. This used to be way back in the day, like Web 1.0. You would have CGI-bin, and there were all sorts of shenanigans with attacking web applications that were using CGI. I'm not familiar with like a Windows operating system mode called CGI, so might have to do some research on that personally. For the most part, we're seeing these attacks in not the United States, right? So Taiwan, Hong Kong, Brazil, Japan, and India. So mostly Pacific Rim, a little bit of South America in there. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. So a little less sophisticated, but if you are seeing "Who am I" and then echo and some string afterwards in your logs, or like the thing is, here's the thing: if you're running a machine and you run like you're on a box and you type in who am I, that's stored in like your bash history, but like that's not necessarily being piped over to a sim as in telemetry. It's much more like events, like someone logged in, someone did this, right? A user account created. So might be difficult. I guess if you suspect a machine is infected and you're doing analysis of a potentially compromised endpoint, looking in the history could be useful there, but I'm not necessarily sure you're going to get inputs sent to the SIM. See, this is 5% resulted in the deployment of XMRig cryptocurrency miner. So, dude, XMRig miner is a very popular crypto miner. Threat actors drop it. That way, essentially, they use other people's resources to do mining. So the cost of them to get cryptocurrency is zero because all the effort's being done somewhere else. It is kind of annoying. Hackers exploit severe flaw to deploy XMRig miners, but then it's in 5% of the instances. This is why you got to read the story, because if you're walking around bumping your chest talking about how XMRig miner deployments are main news, it's like, oh, here we go. Hold on. What are we doing here? A new vulnerability has been discovered. Okay, so the threat actor does this, sets up a custom scanner, whatever, finds vulnerable machines, attempts RCE, deploys a web shell. I mean, this is, guys, this graphic right here, I'm not even going to play the saxophone. This has nothing really to do with like the overall story. This is, to me, this graphic is a nice introduction to people looking to break into the industry or people who are new to cybersecurity to kind of see a different take on the cyber kill chain. Okay. So this one, it does have crypto jacking, selling access to third party, but for the most part, this is basically a technical exploitation kill chain, right? This has nothing to do with initial access compromise or stealing people's creds or whatever, or misconfiguration. Literally, they find a vulnerability or a technical exploitation, they scan for it, right, using Shodan or Nmap or whatever. They find a vulnerable machine, they execute an exploit, they get a web shell so they can access it, and then they start figuring out what they got, and then they monetize it. Okay, this is basic. This is basic threat actor attacking, right? Cisco Talos, who I do like as a threat intelligence outlet, did release some additional information on this one. So here, what I would say, this is going a couple links down, but I do here, unmasking the new persistent attack on Japan. I'm going to link to this story. This is 2 weeks old today, but it's probably, I haven't read it yet, but this is definitely about the PHP CGI attack thing. And Cisco Talos is phenomenal at their blogging and security research communication. So if you're interested in getting a little bit more information on this particular attack, like from a technical level, I would assume this, yeah, here you go. You can see here. This, yeah, see how they have like code and stuff like that. Cisco Talos really does a nice job of getting into the weeds.
Arcane info stealer infects users via game cheats. Researchers at Kaspersky have discovered information-stealing malware called Arcane, which steals user data, including VPN credentials, gaming clients, messaging apps, and information stored in web browsers. The Arcane malware campaign started in November of 2024, with most infections occurring in Russia, Belarus, and Kazakhstan. This is notable because most threat actors based in Russia typically avoid targeting users within the country and other Commonwealth of Independent States nations. Arcane's distribution methods now include the use of a fake software downloader named Arcana Loader, supposedly for popular game cracks and cheats. Arcana Loader has been heavily promoted on YouTube and Discord, with the operators even inviting content creators to promote it on their blogs and videos for free.
All right. Yeah, speaking of that, let me give a shout out to the stream sponsor, Arcane Info Stealer. You can download it on a Tor network right now. I'm joking. Don't go download that. Here's the deal. Guys, if you install malware on your machine, you're doing the hard work for the threat actor. They don't need to trick you, socially engineer you, exploit you. They'll just get you to install it yourself. Now, obviously, there's a little social engineering. I'm being playful here, but please educate your family, educate your end users. Dude, gamers are all over the place. I'm 45 and like I just download like Steam is running their spring sale right now and I just bought like a 15-year-old game. And I'll just tell everybody, I bought DayZ, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Doom remastered or whatever, right? And I'm not going to steal cracks, but like it's not 12-year-olds exclusively, right? It's not just children. There's gamers all over the place. And people want an advantage. Sometimes it's not about getting the game for free. Like, oh, hey, here's a crack to get a free license. Sometimes it's a crack in order to get unlimited resources in DayZ. Or it's to be able to like have aimbotting and stuff like that to give you a competitive advantage, right? So whatever it is, yes, there is that type of code out there. But then there's also threat actors who are weaponizing the idea that you can get cracks, and then they're using YouTubes and Discords and stuff like that to promote it, giving it authority and leveraging that social trust of the content creators. TLDR, all I would say is it's a fun opportunity. Everybody knows what a video game is. Video games are fun, even if you're not a gamer, right? Even like the most banal video game person, right? Like my Aunt Kathy doesn't play video games, but I guarantee you she knows what Pac-Man is, right? So just maybe an opportunity to send out a message to your user community or on your social medias and just say something around the lines of like, hey, be careful of software that's going to help you cheat or crack licenses because criminals are using that lure to trick you into installing malware, right? Obviously, you want to clean the verbiage up on there to be more accessible to normal people, non-tech people, but you get my point.
Scareware combined with phishing targets macOS users. Israeli cybersecurity firm Layer X has reported that throughout 2024 and in early 2025, a scareware campaign phishing for login credentials was targeting Windows users. The Windows version of the attacks leveraged compromised websites to serve fake Microsoft security alerts claiming that users' computers had been compromised. The malicious code caused the web pages to freeze, creating the illusion of an issue with the user's browser. Victims were then instructed to provide their Windows username and password to threat actor hosted phishing pages. However, recent anti-scareware improvements in Chrome, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge have led to a 90% drop in Windows-targeted attacks, forcing threat actors to switch their focus to macOS. The macOS campaign features phishing pages similar to those used in the Windows attacks, but the layout and the messaging were tailored for macOS users with malicious code modified to target Safari.
All right, so whatever, dude. If something works really well and you can pivot and you can wrap it in a different wrapping paper and make it work for macOS, sure, why not? It is interesting to note that the threat actors are using a Windows.net top level domain as their as like hosting their phishing site, which gives it a little bit of credibility, right? We tell our end users like, look at the domain name, make sure it doesn't look like foobar whizbang -capital1.com, right? So by doing it on the Windows net, it gets a little bit of credibility. What they are doing is, changing the subdomains on the top level domain, so it is foobar.fu.windows.net, right? So you can see here they use rapidly morphing subdomains because you'd be like, why would Windows.net allow them to do this? Well, I mean, they're constantly changing their phishing pages, right? So they're trying to move faster than the automated detection can catch them, right? There's been some updates. This is a great win. Make sure that you're updating your browsers. Guys, the fact that 90% drop in Windows-based attacks, like tons of people have gotten those call center scam things. Oh, your computer's infected. Call this number. Best Buy, call this number. Whatever. My good friend's parents fell for this, the tune of $5,000 not too long ago. So like this thing works. So yeah, all they did was change it from Windows security warning to Apple security warning. That's it. Again, you got to educate your end users. This isn't even like a Mac OS targeted attack, right? This is like in the browser, but everybody can catch a stray, okay? Mac, you catch a stray. So
catch me outside. How about that?
just educate your end users. This is like a classic attack that has been seen time and time again. You probably know somebody in your organization who's fallen for it, whether they're asking you to call a number and then they steal your your money straight out of your bank account, or they're getting you to go buy gift cards. Educate your end users. Guys, one of the best ways we can protect our businesses is getting our workforce smart.
Browser phishing attacks increased 140%. A new report from Menlo Security revealed that 750
You want to guess what Menlo Security sells?
2,000 browser-based phishing attacks were recorded in 2024, marking a 140% increase from the prior year. The researchers said artificial intelligence-driven phishing techniques and the exploitation of enterprise browsers have contributed to this trend. Attackers are refining their methods, deploying evasive techniques including fileless malware and memory-only payloads. Traditional defenses such as firewalls and secure web gateways are proving inadequate against these evolving threats. Secure cloud browsing solutions can isolate user activity and prevent malicious content from compromising network systems. Additionally, using AI-enhanced threat detection tools can neutralize sophisticated phishing campaigns before they cause damage.
Okay, so really quickly, couple things about this. One that like super irritates me. Okay, so I don't know what they mean by browser-based phishing. Like to me, they use that term, browser-based phishing, but phishing is like getting messages and stuff like that. So browser-based phishing, I suppose, would be like domain impersonation, pop-ups, those type of things. Okay. They're saying that they're doing that their attack is basically doing impersonation of AI platforms, not just using AI to create the phishing trap or the lure and stuff like that, but also making the lure or the honeypot or whatever you want to call it itself something about AI, hoping to catch in on people's curiosity and interest on wanting to see what's going on. Guys, you gotta educate your end users, period, full stop. Okay, like you can see brand impersonation was used in 51% of the attacks. So, you know, this is like the biggest area to focus on, brand impersonation. Make sure that you're doing it. People are so hot for Gen AI right now. It's like insane.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
The abuse of Cloudflare services for phishing, I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm assuming like Cloudflare provides like denial of service attack protection, CAPTCHA, avoid a couple things. They're not really a hosting service as far as I know. They do DNS as well, which is nice. So I'm not exactly sure how Cloudflare is being abused there. Maybe Eric can comment on that. Long story short, guys, AI is hot, and people are going to continue to leverage it, just like they're leveraging March Madness as a hot thing to take advantage of. All right, guys. Sorry I had to speed run the back half of this. These last three stories, the TLDR is educate your end users. Like, I know GRC is boring. It's not. It's actually quite sexy once you get deep into it. But end user awareness training, it's not a once a year PowerPoint that puts people to sleep. It's just in time education. It's making it interesting. It's showing the impact. There's an art form to doing it well, but the last three stories are plenty of ammunition to get you going. All right, guys, it's 9:05. I'm going to be late to class, which totally sucks, and then I have to like speed run to the airport. But there's Dan Reardon again. Let's do this really quick, guys. I want to say thank you. Thank you all so very much for being here. I genuinely appreciate it. No Simply Cyber Firesides this afternoon. We do have jawjacking coming up in just 1 minute. I genuinely appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for working with me as we got the audio issues sorted out this morning. For all you first-timers here, whether you found us on your own or the David Bombal video, we're happy to have you. I hope you got a great experience, and I hope you come back tomorrow. Definitely check out that Discord server, because there's an A-load of opportunity and community over there. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Wait right there, and we'll be right back with Eric Taylor to answer any questions you have about cybersecurity, career, certs, growth, whatever it is. He's got the answers. See ya. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
What's up? Man, y'all know I cannot let a jawjacking session go unattended. I heard about it. I'm like, no, we can't do that. I got a little bit of free time before our company all hands meeting, so I'm going to come in, storm in like a superhero and be like, boom, let's do some jawjacking. Round 2 for this week, and let's have some fun. While I'm getting things spun up, if this is the first time you are seeing my ugly mug and who is this freaking jackwagon, my name is Eric Taylor. I'm the owner and chief forensic operator here at Barricade Cyber. We do digital forensics and incident response. So this jawjacking is literally all about the technical aspect of things, where Dr. Gerald Auger does CISO, 30,000 foot view stuff, things of that nature. I get really, really into the weeds because I am literally hands on keyboard every day, looking at logs, doing all this stuff. While we are getting ready for questions, what is up, Angular? I'm in a very, very good mood. I don't know about you, but been definitely not a New Year's resolution because we are definitely in March, but I'm starting to get back into, working out. I know it's not Tidbits Tuesday, but I own a tonal, so been doing a lot of that in the mornings, finally figuring out my morning routine, things of that nature. So this week has been week 1 completed of a fitness journey, not just weight loss, but definitely trying to get stronger. Back when I was doing residential electrical work, I kind of did it backwards for some goofy reason. I always, when growing up, I always did things in the wrong order because, I don't know, hacker mindset or something. I don't know, but it's just the way that I did things. So I always told my sister that, look at whatever I did and just do the complete opposite, right? Because I always did it wrong. And everything. Kyle, yes, I did see that. I have so many adult comments that are X-rated that I was trying to get Dr. Gerald Auger to crack up laughing and fall on the floor in the green room. I definitely cannot say on stream. But yes, I did see that. So many comments. It is a prime example right here. If you're trying to get my attention, because I am literally the only one here, put that, just like Kyle did, put that Q with the question mark, because I'll do a search here in a few moments and try to find those questions so that way I can ask those. I am going to share my screen because I'm not sure. I know I gave one of my flippers to FedEx, and I'm going to share my audio for just a moment. I did not mute some stuff, so pre-warning. If y'all hear a Teams call, y'all hear a Teams notification, more than likely it's my workstation. Don't panic. But I do this so I can literally do the flipper. The dolphin. So if y'all have not heard about this thing, this came across my feed the other day, actually yesterday. And of course, Instagram is not wanting to work. There we go. I don't care. So this guy, and I say guy loosely, I'm not sure if this is a male or female, but this individual has come up with a ton of flipper stuff and just going out there and just doing all kinds of stuff. His name is Ubuntu Manic. Apparently he's got a Discord channel somewhere. and he's talking about all this stuff, but he's got some YouTube stuff. He's mostly on Instagram, just showcasing his stuff. So if you are heavy into the Flipper Zero scene, definitely go check out Ubuntu Manic. I did a cursory review of seeing some of the stuff. I'm like, oh, this is some crazy stuff. And you don't need a Flipper Zero to do a lot of the stuff. A good Android phone that has got a alternate bootkit like Graphene OS or something of the other, you can do a lot of this stuff with Android phones and be able to do what you want to do, except for the TV stuff. So like if you're at Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that, you just want to wreak havoc on everybody who's watching a game, you want to randomly shut off all the TVs, and yeah, you can't do that. You need kind of a Flipper Zero type thing for that. So definitely wanted to talk about that for a moment. Let's see, got call answered. Question for the Computer Geek. I am using Cisco Networking Academy. Congratulations. Is there a good source? Is that a good source to break into cybersecurity? Yes. It's not a direct one-to-one relationship Computer Geek, but a lot of cybersecurity, you need a lot of these fundamentals that you're going to do, that you're going to learn from Cisco. So definitely take a look at those things. 1 second. I am needing to do something one moment on another screen. So bear with me 1 second. All right. Trying to talk to Black Hills about a subject. And if y'all were not on Red Team Summit 2025 yesterday, y'all missed some crazy announcements where Zach and John Strand announced yesterday at the end that they are doing a pay what you can in-person event for DC area. And I'm like, you know what? You know me, I like to go YOLO sometimes. Casually Joseph been with us for a while before moving on to Palo Alto. He definitely knows I like to go YOLO sometimes. If you're at Wow Hackin' Fest last year, I definitely went YOLO. But I was like, you know what? You just get your own, you find your way there. We're going to take care of all the students that are attending. It's on Barricade Cyber, so we are paying for all the attendees, so that way people can level up and learn. But going through a couple things. So you might see me get distracted over here looking between mod chat and some private messages. Am I the only one that hates Discord? Maybe it's just because I literally have 30 other freaking messaging apps and it just drives me nuts. So anyway, Computer Geek, sorry for the rant, but yes, Cisco Networking is always a good one to invest in. That they have a lot of good knowledge. So GLiz86 asks, any suggestions on a CCNA study guide? No, I would honestly just go to Google and try to find some, to be honest with you, and just look at the reviews of the people that are there. I mean, I know you can't really trust a lot of the stuff that you do because a lot of it has paid sponsored ads and reviews and stuff, but just try to do your due diligence. Maybe ask around on even Simply Cyber's Discord channel. Say, hey, has anybody else got a CCNA study guide? You know, if because you're old and Discord is new. Discord is not that new, Casually Joseph. I know Discord's been around for a while. But I've also been kind of pulling back on Slack as well. Just because literally, I really think I would get into Discord more if I had more communications on it. But because I have so many other messaging platforms that I'm constantly keeping up with, I don't want to learn a new one just for a small subset of people. I think that's what it boils down to. But anyway, back to GLiz86. You know, ask in the Simply Cyber Discord channel, and maybe even go to Black Hills and ask around in there. I do know when I was starting out, somebody would spend like 50, 60 bucks on a study guide. I'm like, hey, if you give me a copy of it, I'll throw you 20, 10, 15, 20 bucks as a thank you. It minimizes their investment coming in. Is that legal? Probably not, but that's what we did back in the day. Just not newer than a BBS. Yes, it is definitely newer than a BBS. I do miss the days of a BBS. Gabrielle asks, trying to break into GRC. I'm sorry. GRC sucks. I'm just kidding. I say that to mess with Jerry all the time. We need to come up with a shirt that says GRC sucks. And looking to get into GovTech. Oh, you are looking for some pain. Do we need to learn CMMC? Yes. Yeah. Learn CMMC. If CMMC seems too much, literally you're going to take out about, I think, 10 or 13 different controls, but learn NIST 800-171. Oh, that is a great... Casley, just... That is your new mouse pad? That's definitely your world too right now. I love that mouse pad. So in mod chat, Casually Joseph just posted an image of the dumpster fire mouse pad with the gel thing on the bottom that says it's fine, everything is fine. So, but yeah, Gabrielle definitely learned CMMC. Again, if that looks, if the level 1, level 2, level 3 looks over cumbersome at first, don't worry. Just go to NIST 800-171, learn, consume that, and pivoting to CMMC is going to be a lot easier, knowing which level that the organization is going to require, being prime or subprime in the DibCAC, and you'll be much better. So you'll get there in no time. Let's see, can I save image? Before I get on to the next question, Casually Joseph just said, hey, you can share this image. So let me try to carry this over to my sandbox. So we will minimize this, open this. Watch me work in the background, working for a living. Working for a living. Oh, we're doing that? Oh, are you kidding me? I forgot. We can't. That is so stupid. I forgot. Or is that true? Let me confirm. Bear with me a second. I'm trying. I think paint is kind of trashed out on us in Sandbox, but I am trying to confirm. I'm going about it in a roundabout way, so bear with me 1 second. What is the file path for it? Open file location. They moved Paint to a Windows app. I forgot about that. That does... We don't have the Windows Store in Sandbox. No, we don't. Okay. Oh, you know what I could do? I just remembered this. This is my workaround. And I forgot I was doing this until just now. Just open up an Edge, you idiot. Alright. So there we go. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. So that's what Casually Joseph was doing. Thanks for letting me just go completely goofy on that one. All right, where were we on the questions? Oh, yeah. Work has no budget for training or certs this year. I'm sorry. Was the same for last year. What certs are worth it? Not CompTIA out of the pocket. Oh. Trying to think. Yeah, the only one that I can really say without breaking the bank is literally look at what Black Hills is doing. You know, are there certifications, trainings that you can take over there that aligns with what you're doing? You know, I don't know if you're red team, blue team, or whatever, and Black Hills has a pretty good balance of a lot of different stuff. Naturally, more red team than blue team, just because, you know, they're a bunch of pen testers. But you know, they do have a good balance both ways on some of those things, and I would definitely take a strong look at what they have. And some of it is, you know, like we discussed earlier, pay what you can. So definitely take a look at it. Sorry that that's going on for you. I know there's a lot of businesses right now that are just holding on for dear life, and I feel for that because, again, not to get political, but we just don't know what's about to happen, you know. And Doge is affecting a lot of organizations because they, you know, more companies depend on downstream government contracts. They're like, they don't have the government contract themselves. They're like 2 or 3 or 4 runs down from that government contract, but because that got killed by the main company, it's affecting the supply chain, if you will, for that. So that's having a bigger effect on a lot of companies than I even anticipated. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on in your particular case or what may be happening, but sorry you're going through it. Random X, as a hiring manager, what are some things that I should highlight on my resume to make myself a stronger candidate? Random X, again, it depends on if you're blue team or red team, you know, but John Strand literally gave a good report, talked about this. So while I personally don't look at people who have GitHubs who are doing hack the box and try hack me, John Strand and his team over there, they are, right? You know, they're looking at all that. So I would definitely keep an eye out for the Red Team Summit 2025 videos that are supposed to come out on YouTube, I think, in a couple of weeks. The end of the show literally became the, you know, Daniel Lowry, John Strand, Eric Taylor rants for about an hour. Everybody else is just kind of sitting back and just letting us go ham. So that was a good time. But John Strand definitely talked about that. So keep an eye out for that. And, you know, if you're definitely on the red team and things of that nature, you know, it was surprising to me to see his view on a lot of those things, right? That naturally doesn't apply to us. So it may as one time, you know, as we grow and we're able to get into some of the malware and things of that nature in the next couple of years, you know, digital forensics response definitely if you know anybody. Okay. So we're too downstream for a lot of the things. So it's hard for us to have a lot of malware, but as we're kind of getting into more and more the IR retainer aspect of things, it's definitely something that we'll be able to get into, and maybe that may be something that I'm looking at, but right now it's not of interest, but definitely keep your eye out for that. All right, let me bring up my search, trying to get caught up on some of these questions. Ryan, been weary of job scams and lately have been getting recruiters trying to move conversations from my messages to WhatsApp. It seems like a red flag to me. What do I do to verify they are, I guess thumbs up? I wouldn't do it. We have we even have digital forensic cases that leads that will come in and be like, hey, it's easier for me to communicate on WhatsApp. I'm like, we're not doing it. We're just not. We're not moving to that platform. I just let me say, WhatsApp is not a company approved application for our industry and for this organization. We're not moving it. We can stay here and continue that communication, or you can just go find another vendor. But we're not. I'm not installing WhatsApp to have a conversation. It's scam ridden. It's full of, just everything, and I'm just not doing it. No, thank you. So, I strongly recommend you not to do it either. I don't know of a legitimate business out there, recruiter or not, that's going to ask you to move to an alternate application to have that line of communication. They may direct you to a website for their portal, so you can upload your driver's license, upload your resume, things that, that's kind of normal. But to go to a different messaging app, no thank you. Y'all could just freaking straight up kick rocks. Gary asks, how's the weather in South Carolina? It's actually pretty good right now. Let's see. What is this? Oh, be quiet. Right now it is 62 degrees in the low country of South Carolina, the Charleston, Somerville, West Ashley, Myrtle Beach, like the whole lower east, but low country. Right now we are expected to have a high of 75 degrees. So it's really, really nice right now. I think we've got the pollen hopefully is getting ready to calm down. So should be a good time. GRC would suck if we had a vacuum. Ooh, that would be a good add-on. GRC sucks and have a shop vac sucking on GRC or something. That almost sounded adultish. Ignore that. Justin just told me that we have a very high pollen index, though. I have not looked at that, but that would not surprise me. So one thing I learned with pollen and flowers and stuff like that, now that I'm a homeowner, kind of digging into how things operate like that, because I always wondered, why would a tree bloom and then a month or two later it bloom again? I'm like, I thought this was like once a year type thing, but I come to learn that when you have like 30-degree temperature shifts or 20 degrees, something like that, once it swings back, it confuses the tree and it'll start to bloom again. So question from 31QWOZ, what do you use for your sandbox? So my primary one that just to do a quick couple minutes in is Windows Sandbox is what I use. A lot of times when you see me stream, I'm streaming on Windows Sandbox. Something that I need a little bit more persistence. I'm doing some malware. I'm doing, dissecting of PowerShell, things of that nature. I actually have VMs built out for that. Definitely need to advance that more. But yeah, once it real quick, hey, what is this thing? I'll throw it up in Windows Sandbox, or I do have a subscription for any.app.run as well. So if I really need to get a little bit of network telemetry or whatever like that, it's like, what is this application beaconing out to? I'll definitely throw it up there. Hybrid analysis, things of that nature. So yeah, Eric Taylor Swift, I know. Just checking mod checks. I see things are popping up in there. Giggity giggity. 1 second. Question from Maurice Martin. Do you think the GRC toolkit is a good tool to use in regards of resume building? I would say come back and ask Dr. Gerald Auger. I would assume so. I think I've heard him talk about that kit before in a very positive response, but I don't mess with GRC that much to advise properly. So I'm definitely not the individual to give you sound advice on that. But if memory serves me correctly, that is a decent kit to use. Troy, how do you feel about WGU? I like them. I haven't heard anything negative about them. Casually Joseph and a lot of Simply Cyber folks go to WGU for their training. And, when Joseph was here, I would hear him talk about WGU, and they're very positive, his advisors and counselors and everything like that, helping him go through that. He had, of course, with anything, you have a couple hiccups. That might have been hiccups with his previous school as well, now that I think about it. But overall, it was a very pleasurable experience for him to go through. And it's definitely a self-paced, so you can go through it as fast or as slow as you want. And it's kind of a flat rate, if I remember correctly. So, but there's a ton of Simply Cyber folks that are going through WGU. I'm sure they're weighing in already in chat, but definitely go talk to them in Discord. I don't think I've heard really any real significant negative things about WGU. And from a business owner, if I see WGU, again, there's never been anything across my table or come to my attention in a negative light to make me like, I'm not really sure about that school type of thing, right? We're in the high 80s yesterday, and now we're in the high 60s today with Paul. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the 20 or 30 degree, and it just kicks it all up again. So what it is, bear with me a second while we're listening to music. I'm going to Google this. Weather fluctuations confuses plants. Go away ad. Bear with me, I'm just trying to confirm this. I may do some due diligence and come back on Tuesday. But it's called a thing, and I'm trying to find out what it is. But yeah, I'm looking on. It is a 20-degree shift when temperature drops 20 degrees or more, and then and stays there for a couple of days, and then comes back up. It confuses the plant. So if it's already bloomed and hasn't and it's already got rid of that, then it will rebloom again. But I'm trying to figure out what that term is called. Oh, we got a super chat here. What do we have here? Mirror for 20 months, level undefined. Message Team SC, not 1% better each day, even when audio flakes. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Anything new? Looking at mod chat. Not seeing things sticking up. Are we going to have an early jawjacking session? Early? It does look like it. So follow up. about the WGU. I've been looking into them, and I'm comparing WGU versus Purdue Global. I've heard decent things about both of those. So, and here's what Casually Joseph said about W. It is legit, but like anything else, it's as good as you make it. Put the effort in, and you will see the rewards. And that's with anything with life, right? Put the effort in, and you will see rewards. It's that slow is steady and steady is fast type thing, or whatever that analogy is. But you put in that extra 10%, and the boulder keeps moving, and before you know it, you're at that finish line type of thing. So just doing that little bit extra and getting down that path. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, another comment echoing pretty much what Joseph says about WGU. Like I said, there's been a lot of people that are really successful and really benefited and enjoyed WGU, so definitely look out. That's it. Smooth is slow, smooth is fast. Or I think it's slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. I think it's the proper way. That sounds right. Question from DT. What advice do you have for someone new to cyber and feeling overwhelmed when looking at logs, afraid to land a job and miss something in the logs? DT, I would have to say, even I, with my experience, overlook things with logs. Having certain keywords to go in and look at the start of any investigation. I'm looking at PowerShell, I'm looking for RMM tools, I'm looking for remote desktop, I'm looking for SMB shares, I'm looking for stuff like that. As the first blush, or any of these type of things in this workstation's event logs that I need to investigate further. I'm also looking at any sort of AV EDR logs for that device. All right, so and then based off of the analysis of that, how much further deeper do I need to go? So come up with that baseline to see how much rabbit hole time you need to spend on that workstation. But we're all human, DT. We are going to miss something. It's inevitable. Is Eric a farmer now? No, I am definitely not a farmer. Yep. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Yep. A little tidbit I did growing up. I was a Air Force brat, and every summer we would go up to Danville, Pennsylvania, old small. I shouldn't say small. It is small, I guess, but old farming country in Pennsylvania, and would be up there living on the farm and messing with the pigs and the horses and the everything like that. So, I did spend a fair number of years in the summertime in Pennsylvania on a farm. So learned how to hunt up there, all that kind of stuff. So but definitely not a farmer. Ooh, the pain. With everything going on in the U.S., what country do you think is number 2 for cybersecurity business growth? Sorry, just answering a question there. So, with everything going on in the U.S., what country do you think is number 2? I don't know. That requires some thought. That's something I haven't, because here lately it seems like it's us against the world. My gut says it's going to be yeah, my gut's going to say it's going to be one of the Asian countries. I think it may be, you know, yeah, I do think China's going to continue to advance through legal or unlegal methods of theft of intellectual property or whatever. Taking the economy out of the situation on that. Because it seems like they're going to implode any day on the economy side of things. North and South Korea have a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. I don't think Russia or the Ukraine, definitely not Venezuela, definitely not Switzerland, Greenland, Scotland. I don't know about South America and some of their stuff with the Silk Road initiatives that are coming out of China, which then it just advances China more. But what technological advances may come out of that? South America, I don't think anything really. I really don't see anything coming out of Canada. And the whole EU, as I'm thinking about, I don't know if there's really much going to come out of there. So yeah, I think, yeah, I think it's going to be like China, or it's going to be North or South Korea, or maybe Japan. But that geographic location, I think. And we haven't heard really anything coming out of Australia in a while either. As a side comment, not to get in. So looking at mod chat, Casually Joseph talks about Israel, and I mean Israel already is. So I was taking this as a question of a new upcomer, right? Not somebody that's already there in this space, like who's about to come up through the ranks and become the next great thing type of thing. And that's where my mindset was going, right? So yeah, if you're talking growth, yeah. So that's where I took it. But speaking of growth, have y'all seen the news about Google and trying to acquire Wix? The one thing that I wonder, again, we're not trying to get political. I know the last answer really skirted that line and maybe even danced over it a little bit, did a little, a little flossing over that. But there was already the DOJ or somebody was trying to break up Google for a monopoly, trying to get the Chrome browser out of Google. So, it'd be, all of us kind of joked around in the CTI and InfoSec world about, okay, it's just going to become, like Mozilla, it's going to become the Chrome Foundation or the Google Foundation or something, right? So it's under a different umbrella type of thing. Did music just stop? Yes, it did. Why'd you stop? I guess it only plays for a little while. Let's change it up. Let's change it up. But if Google is really going to go after Wix and actually acquire them, I think the level of pushback against the monopoly is only going to strengthen, right? Oh, did that close, Joseph? So Wix sold to Google for 30 million or 30 billion. I missed that announcement. So I was unaware that that went through. Is that pending any confirmation? But does it have to go through SEC or FCC or any of those, for final approved bodies? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do need to bow out because I do have a meeting coming up that I need to prep for. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I do greatly appreciate it for hanging out for additional 45 minutes. 229 of you. For those who have stuck around this long, you know what's about to happen. We're going to do the sea shanty, and we're going to get out of here. I will try to be back on tomorrow for the panel. If not, I'll just stick around in the green room and kind of go from there. If y'all want me to come up on screen, just yell in chat, bring Eric up, or whatever. Yeah, they've already bought them. Yeah, Wiz. Yes, that's the deal I'm talking about, Cash. So an agreement to acquire is not, I don't view that as an confirmation or finalization of acquisition. It's like when you buy your house, you put your earnest money down and saying you're going to buy that house, but you still go through due diligence. You still have your inspections, you still have everything else. So when I see an agreed to acquire something, I view it the same as a house purchase. You still got several steps to go through before you sign everything, and everything becomes finalized. I could be wrong. I probably am, but I digress. So yeah, I'll have to see, did the agreement go through? Is it been fully acquired? Is there things about to happen? All that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I will play the sea shanty and we'll get out of here. Y'all take care of yourselves and stay curious. See y'all next time.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites, they were the same. A criminal then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.